Let's try and get this thing situated. Okay. Trying to get this to a point where you can see that there's these multiple as far as it's going. Would that not be in the picture? Oh, it does twist. Okay. I don't know if that's gonna hold, but let's find out. No, come on. Why is it doing this? Oh. Okay. Give me a second while I figured this out here. That's not too bad. I just need it to hold in place. It's like you're getting a driver's seat view there. Alright. Is that gonna hold? Maybe. Just checking for its stability. Alright, that should hold up to most bumps. If you can see how it's rigged, be a little bit concerned, but okay, are we dealing with any hot spots here? Let's get this ridiculous stuff out of my. It's Thursday night in Venice. The sun is out. Let's see here. Get up on the road. So we're gonna look at 2 sets of coconuts here for you guys and gals. Gonna see the beautiful sunset. That's a pretty good camera angle there, I must say, considering how the thing is planted. What are we going to listen to tonight?
On the Essex NL.
Making sure this was working. Not sure it's just a bad time of day. Oh, there's people coming up. Hey, Cat 631K. Hello. This is one of my opinion, the best views of Venice is going over this bridge at sunset. So sometimes there's like 10 people within 2 minutes. Sometimes it's like 2 people within 10 minutes. So we'll see what happens. Try doing one for the sunset so you guys can really see. Right here, the sun is just set, but this is one of the best places to view the sunset in Venice. It's not on the beach itself. One thing I will say I take for granted is that sunset, that color. Oh, more people. Yeah, so back in around 2002-ish is when the city planted these palms. They were $4,500 each plus installation. They've maybe grown 2 or 3 feet during that time, maybe a little bit more, maybe like 5 feet, but it's not very noticeable. I'll turn this down. If there's a certain kind of, hey James, sorry I haven't gotten back to you, man. It's been so busy. Like are housing prices stabilizing in Florida? I think that's going to be a longer term process. I think they're still going to go up a little bit before they stabilize. There's still some, like, if you study economics, there's like elastic and inelastic pricing, and housing is quite inelastic. So it'll take a while for it to kind of stabilize. That's not necessarily. It takes a while for people who have locked in interest rates to purchase houses, and those who have not to not purchase houses. That's, that can be a 90-day, 180-day process. But is it stabilizing in general? Probably. Has the craziness stopped? It's hard to say. It's a weird situation. So this is the hospital here. This is Venice, this hospital. See those coconuts? They've been there. Not a single one has died in 18 years of living here. But they're somewhat over pruned. And I noticed there's like a droopy leaf syndrome on coconuts that get over pruned, and I really not a fan of it. I'm not a fan of any over pruning unless it's like something like if it's a Canary Island date low to the ground, and the only way to not die is to prune it up a little bit so you're not running by it and then dying of blood loss. But we'll go let's see what it's like downtown on a Thursday night here in Venice. I don't know if I can go downtown Thursday on weekday nights. So hey, thanks, Palm Planet. Yeah. Oh, it's Alex. Hey, Alex. I figured that was you because you're like such a nice guy, and like you're always saying positive. I mean, not that people say negative stuff on here, but you're a very positive person. There's a lot of good, positive energy around you. I sound like a yogi, but I'm not. I thought that I hate them. I love a beautiful Canary Island date, but there are so many hybrids and so many people like this one to the right, the left here. It's not even close to a true one, this one right there, but it looks okay. It's some kind of Sylvestris hybrid. It's not grown very well, and it's not well taken care of. It's yellow up. Hey, Brian, what's going on? So we have, I don't know if they cheaped out, but they planted Sylvestris here, or what appears to be Sylvestris on the right, some kind of Sylvestris hybrid, possibly. No, it looks like pure Sylvestris. But then it's got the Canary Island diamond cut thing going on. It's hard to say, and that's why, yeah, there's definitely a lot more pure stuff in California. Not because they've tried to keep it more pure, but just, we're not waiting for this. Sometimes I just like to make my own rules. So this is obviously Venice Ave, the main street, but I really haven't come here much in the middle of the day. I used to go to that bar on the second floor. It used to be called, it's called Old Venice Pub, and everybody calls it OVP. Now it's called, it used to be called VIP. I had my own engraved 24-ounce beer stein. It was like $15, and you got like $1 off beers. You're coming at, yeah, no problem, Alex. I like what you've done for the palm community, especially at your generation. You know, I'm becoming an old man, and there aren't a lot of people that are really enthusiastic about palms that are like in the, I'd say, 16 to 30 age bracket. And I saw it happening with like my generation, and you know, you have a large torch to carry, a heavy torch to carry, so to speak. Are you going to LA next week? Man, you get to go a lot of places there. These Royals not looking so hot. Those are older ones. They've been around for a long time. These are newer ones up here. Older Royals can look kind of raggedy when they're older. I mean, hey Adam, what's going on, man? A little local action. So I mean, I still feel young. There's some parts that don't feel so young, but you see a lot of Washingtonian Robusta here in Venice. And the reason is this, they've been around for so long, and they're kind of an element, because Venice is going to be named, you know, it's named after Venice, Italy, or even Venice, California. And both those places are filled with Washingtonians. So to give a little bit of a allure to that. And these Robustas on the right, they're just, I mean, they look like they've been slapped around a little bit. So we're going to go to the beach here. We're going to go, hopefully we'll make it before it's like dark. You can't see anything. But there's a lot of Canary Island dates that were taken out here in the median. Yeah, and you know, I feel like the colder the climate, the more hardcore the enthusiasts. Because if you go to Hawaii, ask them to plant a palm out, and they'll literally dig a hole, not even like a round hole. They'll just put like a divot in the ground, like place the palm in and replace the lava rock, and then just watch it grow. They don't even need to water it in, really. I mean, they just want to get the air pockets out. But all these Phoenix here, they are just they're skinny. You know, they're not true canaries, and they look generic, because that's what they are. Is they are hybrids that just don't have any sort of, you know, riding the wrong side of the road with no lights on. Very intelligent individual. Florida actually has some pretty strict biking laws, considering, there's a lot of people here at sunset. So this is Venice Beach. This is the main beach here. I never really go here because it's a little bit touristy, and it's usually more crowded than the other beaches, which are actually nicer. So up here is where all the high rises are. Oh, hey, Thomas and Jeremy. So I've convinced Thomas that Venice is a solid zone 10 in the area surrounding it. I bought a 2003 Kia Sedona at that high rise right there on the left. My mom's friend just didn't want it. Had an issue, I fixed it. Sold it for $2,900. Gotta leave a minute. Okay. Sounds good. Thomas is a good person to talk to about real estate. He's a very well tapped into the market. Some big bottles there on your right. Some big, I think those are agave Americanas. I don't know. I'm not really an agave person. I know they are agaves. That's about it. All right, I'm just going to go at this New Yorker Freedom Boat Club. If you want to dump as much money as possible into a boat and not own one, then that's what you do. There's some upsides to it, though. I'm not going to lie. There's a little basin here where the Venice Yacht Club sits. Yeah, Naples has been expensive for a while, but it's gone completely out of control in the past 2 years. Naples is definitely an overvalued market. If there's one overvalued market Naples has some of them. It has gone overvalued, but there are some other areas that I believe are overvalued for different reasons. Naples has a solid base of like very wealthy individuals, but I think there's some Metro Tampa areas that are overvalued. Like Pasco County. Yeah, Polk County, Pasco County, Hernando County even, because in Hernando County you're not really near any kind of like large city center. There's no beach in Hernando County. I mean, we could debate that, but let's face it, Crow's Nest, probably one of the nicest restaurants in Venice. Right here, you can see all the. Oh yeah, I definitely hit the looking at the sunset traffic. I didn't think about that, but a lot of people come here for this. It's quite busy. It shouldn't be that busy because it is. Yeah, depending on where you go in the West Village, I've seen some insane prices in Wellham Park. Maybe it's Wellham Park is lesser price and West Village is overpriced. But it seems like the average house in the West Village is like $750, which to me, considering gates locked at 10 o'clock. So we'll go by the water. It's not insanely busy here, but it is a little bit busy. Good thing I'm getting my car washed soon. Yeah, I know. I think I might have told, I don't know if I told you guys this or not, but back in college, I had a good friend and went on a few dates with a girl whose whose father was that is the Gulf right there. See the beach. I actually used to rent a condo on the beach not too far down from here. This is really popular among high schoolers when it's not too busy. I remember them locking it though. Anyway, her father was the CEO or CFO of Racetrack, and they had a house in Naples. It was like 11 bedrooms. It was in Port Royal, which is like the southernmost peninsula there. I want to say at the time it was an $11 million house. I can't imagine what it is now, but Racetrack isn't doing so hot right now. It's getting run down by Wawa, and depending on where you live, it's getting run down by whatever's showing up. Yeah, I mean, and then 2000, I mean, people who remember 08, 09 know that the places hit hardest are the ones that really can't, don't have a core to them, and that's a lot of Florida. Places like Gainesville have a core to them. They have an old historical college. Tallahassee is not as bad, depending on where you are. But places like Cape Coral, Miami, got hit hard, but not as hard as like Cape Coral, Northport. I mean, I saw houses in Northport that are now going for over $500,000, going for under $100,000. There's something wrong there, An empty lot going for $13 million. That's absolutely insane. I mean, that is like as much, if not more, than like Hampton's prices. That is $13 million for a lot on the Intercoastal. Wow. Now, to give it, I mean, Port Royal, in my opinion, is the nicest neighborhood in Florida. It is absolutely unbelievable, and it's where you go if you're like insanely rich and don't want anyone to know. If you're insanely rich and want people to know, you go to Miami or you go to Fort Lauderdale. You want to be seen. No one goes to Naples to go look at all the wealthy people's houses. Like Port Royal's like the most best kept secret amongst like, I want to say like, I guess I don't want to call it the ultra wealthy, but very wealthy people with a net worth of around, $50 to $100 million. Stewart is, how can I best classify? I'm going to go to the left because there's less traffic. Stewart is nice. I've only been there once. It's not, see, if you go north of Stewart, there's Port St. Lucie, which is not that nice. It's kind of like this big suburban conglomerate, which is not that interesting now. It used to be a cool little seaside town. Yeah, James, I saw that, the prices of houses and prices in Canada, if you think US is bad, Canada's like twice as bad. So Stewart, I had a friend whose parents had a house in Stewart. It was okay. I mean, it was kind of like going to Inglewood, which was okay. It's just a kind of laid back town. Thanks for the Brights golf cart. Why are you even on the effing road? This whole golf cart craze is so stupid. Anyway, if you go south of Jupiter, I mean, that's a really beautiful area, very expensive. This is one of the nicer roads in Venice here. This is Bayshore Drive, or the Laguna turns into Bayshore. A lot of nice houses here in the 2 to 4 million range. I got the we got Lemon Bay on the left, or the kind of like a Venice inlet there. Older houses here in the water. And on the right, there's just nice houses. It's not on the water. You know, that area from like just north of West Palm to about Melbourne, like I don't visit very often. The last time I was in Melbourne was in 2009. I've only been to Fort Pierce once. Not impressed. Cheap place to live if you want to go there, but you know, not saying it's nice. No, don't do that. Yeah, the empty lot listing you're saying is 13 million, right? Yeah. Oh, that's a fat royal. The thing about really nice houses that are well manicured, man, their plants are really robust. And I hope, for some reason, I don't know, but just because of the. Let me know if the connection's going down. Like the shows how many people are in the chat, but it doesn't necessarily show. There we go. It just bounces back and forth from like 1 to 7 to 3. So this is where Bayshore ends. There's Bayshore Circle down there, but which is nice. I mean, this whole area is nice. This little curve between the beach and Barcelona Avenue here. That's insane. 13 million for an empty lot. I mean, that's like. I just can't think of a comparison besides like maybe like East Hampton, like on the ocean. I mean, it must be a large lot for 13 mil. So, Adam, there can be multiple reasons. The one reason I see the most is that when the frond, you're talking about the lower fronds, or even sometimes the middle fronds, and they can bend in half, is that they, when they were in the meristem, they actually, they were mechanically damaged to the point where the petiole actually becomes like hard and dried out, and because they can't flex, they'll just break. And I've seen that quite a bit. I don't know if that's happening on yours. The other can just be well, actually most of it's just mechanical damage. Go down Tampa Avenue here. Yeah, California. It's the newest spear. So is this the newest spear since it first, since like our cold snap? Is this the first one coming out since then? Because that could play a part. Actually, it doesn't even have to be the newest one. It could be like the second or third, but that can break off due to mechanical damage happening in the meristem during that cold. Yeah, I mean, I've seen that happen where you could get a whole summer of weird fronds. Coconuts are odd in that they will show freeze or frost damage like 6 months later after looking perfectly fine. It's like a house of cards sometimes. You can see the real tall robustas there. I mean, we're talking 45 feet, so there's probably some of the tallest ones in the area. And then one by one get struck by lightning, and then they have to be replaced. So it's kind of just well, those are pretty old. I mean, I've seen those things swaying to 45, 50 degrees and like really steep winds. So, I don't want to hit him. You know what I want to check out actually is and Thomas, I don't know if you're still on, but there's please let me get this light. Oh yeah, we're gonna get this light, don't you think? And we're good. No one saw that. If the crown is collapsing or leaning, just pay attention to what's going on in the crown. Push areas of the crown, see if they're soft. If they're soft, then you have a problem. That's the softness. I would coconuts are not straight growing palms. I would let it be. Yeah, there's red light cameras in Sarasota, but there aren't in Venice, at least yet. In my opinion, red light cameras are unconstitutional because I'm not going to get into the politics of it. But I want to see, there's a new restaurant that used to be where this Greek restaurant, and I'm not going to try and run that. There's this new restaurant here on the left. Yeah, there's no real light. I mean, there's lightning in Los Angeles, once in a while, but yeah, it's crazy. The Washingtonians there are ancient, and they're never gonna get that tall in Florida because they just become lightning poles. So let's see what we got here. Yeah, so Adam, if there's no if you don't see any signs of any oozing or any bugs or any just discoloration anywhere else, I wouldn't worry about it. I mean, it's a preventative. You can put hydrogen peroxide in. It kind of just like a, you know, precautionary measure, but that's up to you. I can do more specimen videos. The problem is just I don't really go to the East Coast as much. I can go to some friends' gardens that I haven't seen in a while. Some because of COVID, some because of just when I was living in Cape Coral, I just lost touch with them. But yeah, I mean, I'd like to do more of them. The problem is I ran out of a lot of species that normally a lot of collectors have. But I have a friend in Sarasota I can go see. He's invited me there. Um, a lot of people this time of year go out of town. Floridians like to travel in the summertime because they want to get out of the heat, and just there's a lot of people have seasonal jobs or jobs that are not as busy in the summer, where it's kind of the opposite, up north. Depending on what you do. So I'm curious if there's a new Thai restaurant here. There used to be a Greek restaurant. I forget the name of it now. Thomas, if you're here. Oh yeah, I think I saw the title of that video. Okay. So let's see if this place is open. Okay, so it is there. I'm gonna go a different way here. Oh no, I'm sorry. I'm looking like I'm drunk now, going all over the lanes. I actually want to turn around. Har Thai Curry is open. Now, I haven't heard of anyone going there yet. I'm kind of curious. So Kentias do grow in Florida, but they don't grow in any sun. I would not put any. You can grow it in deep, deep shade, like a Camadria. You can grow Howea belmoriana. Okay, so that's. There's no one in there. I feel like that place is like it has like a doom switch attached to it. So it's sad because this used to be like, wild, and now there's this massive senior living facility there. So, what was I going to discuss about? Yeah, the Casey Key is ridiculous. But yeah, if you want to grow a Howea in Florida, do not grow it. Grow it in deep shade. It just can't handle our sun. In fact, they really can't handle the sun in interior California. You go more than 10 miles inland. But on the coast, man, they look beautiful there. I'm sure Big G, if you're in Palm Springs, I would not try and grow those out in full sun. They will roast. Yeah, sables love the desert. I can think of a single sable that wouldn't enjoy the desert. Maybe Mauritia formis, because it just seems to not enjoy full sun as much. It looks like it's going to rain, but forecast doesn't say that. So we're going to go. I noticed this. So if we go here, I'm going to kind of actually pull over here, start with, because this is... Yeah, if you go to like coastal San Diego, coastal like Orange County in LA, and all the way up, obviously, I'm sure in San Francisco too, they look great. I think even in some interior parts of San Francisco, they look good too. Check this out. So you guys won't see this that often, but see these exposed Serenoa trunks? Now those aren't that tall by normal standards, but they're pretty tall. I mean, if you have one that has 6 feet of trunk, they're not a really clear trunk, but you see the flowers emerging. Those seeds will be ready in September and October. So right here we have some carrot top coconuts. Now these coconuts, you can see a lot of, see them, we'll drive through, but they're all along like this line, like between the businesses and like the first, the road here, or the through road. They've all been here since 2000, since I've lived here in 2004. They've always been trimmed of their coconuts and carrot topped. And to me, they just don't look as healthy as a normal coconut. And they do it for insurance reasons, because coconuts will drop on cars and dent them, or on people and give them brain damage. But if you're dumb enough to walk underneath a coconut like that, you probably have brain damage already. A Corona, or you're having a Corona Premium? Is that a new type of Corona? Is that like a high alcohol Corona? This one coconut right here, the first one here, very dainty. And then I haven't remember really see these cold damage, maybe a little bit, but none of them have gotten like close to death. So here's some other. I mean, this coconut here. I mean, this thing is 25 years old and it's only 10 feet tall, 10 feet of trunk. And the droopy leaflets, they just don't look good. And their leaflets have that same breaking issue. So that's another reason to not over trim your plants. And see, you have this pendant leaflet one. It just doesn't look very good. It does look like Hawaii when they put nothing but coconuts there. Hawaii seems to be less concerned about insurance reasons, saying, listen, you live in Hawaii. Premier Corona. I would say grow the royal. Just put it in an area where no one's going to deal with the dropping fronds. And these all are having the drooping frond issue. This isn't really a coconut thing, but it's happening to them. So be it as it may. This Latin market used to be nothing. No one would ever go in there. Now it's like really popular. Everyone that's working around here will go there at lunchtime. Eat out of the truck. It's a very Latin thing to do. Just see those. Can't see that well, but those Canary Island dates aren't looking too bad. Yeah, I guess that's true, but the thing is, if you don't live in one of the like really populated counties of California, there's actually a lot of open space. Same kind of goes for Florida, but if you're not living in the not living in the populated areas, it's usually a colder area, unless you're in like the desert, when it's like Inyo County and Imperial County are like almost, like, to me, look inhospitable. So we're gonna take a little sidetrack here down a road that some people may not know. It's not, I mean, nothing special, but it's just the way to get off of the main road without having to wait for the lights. It's like a service road to Venice Avenue, and I'm hoping the data might go out during this time, but the bank on 41. Oh yeah, you're talking about Synovus Bank or the one at Center in 41. Those look pretty good. I've seen them damaged, but then just come back just fine. Not like badly, but you'll see some brown fronds. So let's hope that there are no, because with Verizon, you used to have a bad, yeah, so I know what you're talking about. They planted those, I want to say, like right after the big freeze, like 2012-ish, and they went heavy on them. I mean, they're packed in there. It isn't like there's 4 or 5, there's like 20. We might hit some rain here. I was gonna go to the Publix here. Yeah, there's actually a lot of mango trees. Usually they're grown in backyards because people will steal them in the front yard. You gotta know what they look like. There's some big ones too. I have one in my backyard at my new house. I think I might have 2. No, I have a lychee and a mango, but they're looking rough. It's probably ancient. The house was built in 58. Yeah, Jeremy, how did that do? Did it come through that? Minimal damage. Impressive. Man, it's definitely something to You know, hopefully there's no cold like that in the next few years. And if it gets, if it gets some trunk on it, that's when it's really going to be, I don't know how big it is, but trunking coconuts and non-trunk coconuts have two different cold hardiness levels in my, not like close to a half zone difference. This isn't the most scenic of roads, but neither is Venice Avenue around here, so this is right around here is where I filmed that royals being chopped up by the Catholic at the Catholic Church. The Catholic Church didn't do it. Okay. I'm gonna try and do something. Let's see if this will work out. All right. Oh, here we go. Yeah, that makes sense, Adam. I lost all my coconuts in 2010 and 2011, and none of them had any trunk on them. I refused to plant large palms in my yard because I wanted to, one, save money, and two, watch them grow. I think part of like the love of palms is getting to see them grow from like a young plant and emerge as like, planting specimens. It's good for like in your face, beauty, like immediate. Or if you're 70 years old, you're not gonna want to like plant a palm that's gonna take 20, 30 years to go to maturity. And I'm starting to learn that at my age, like, oh, maybe I want to get one a little bit bigger. All right, let's just hope this data doesn't cut out because I'm probably in the deadest spot in the area. With Verizon, this would have been dead. Now I still use Verizon. I have Xfinity Mobile now. $90 a month cheaper. Yeah, the beaches didn't take much damage. That's surprising because some beaches took some serious damage. In some of the new communities out here, I wish I could get into them. It's a classic. Don't walk. They're just walking anyway. Yeah. Let me just make sure okay, I got plenty of power. I the desire to take off. Let me check something real quick. I hope this guy doesn't think I'm following him because I'm not, but I want to check something. Oh. Pensacola is probably going to be like, if you're talking like along the water, because it changes quite a bit. Right along the water, I had a client that was lived on the Gulf in Perdido Key, and that was like a solid 9A bordering 9B. But if you go like 10, 12 miles off the coast, you're talking about even you can get down to 8A and like the Crestview area. Crestview's freezing. It's probably the worst place in Florida to grow anything, unless you want to grow like olive trees and peach trees. It's more of like just the deep south. Dairy Queen always slammed. That's the problem with Dairy Queen, is that it is always slammed. There's like no one of any sort of management capability. Oh, that. All right. I thought I saw a plant that was recently planted. Now we're gonna go back on our regularly scheduled thing. Oh yeah, Vicia subdistica. That's gonna be probably your least cold hardy, just because of its size. It's a smaller palm. Smaller crown-checkered palms in general are gonna be less cold-hardy than larger ones. There's some exceptions like Chamaedorea, but Yeah, definitely. Big G, it definitely makes the East Coast milder. So DEA take back. Hold on, I just want to see what this is about. So what are they taking back? Are they taking back drugs? This Saturday. That's the new Venice Police Department. I'm just curious. Like, do you just bring them drugs and they just don't ask anything? So the East Coast sees a milding effect from the Gulf Stream, especially so the closer you are to it, like in Fort Lauderdale and Palm Beach. Now, with that said, in general, like there'll be higher daytime temperatures on the West Coast in any given latitude. So like I'm in the same latitude as like Jupiter, right? So the highs will be a little bit higher and the lows will be about the same. But in the wintertime, when it gets really cold, Jupiter will probably stay a little bit warmer than Venice will. You really see the difference in the wintertime. Are that Jordan leaf tip burn? Are the cordatas in a greenhouse or are they in the ground? Because if they're in the ground, then that's like insane. There's a very small swath of what they like to call tropical rainforest in Palm Beach County, which is in kind of Broward County, which is kind of suspect because there's no tropical rainforest. Just the climate is tropical rainforest because they get enough rain any given year and they're above the 64-degree median every given month. It's the Köppen climate classification system. Okay, so they're in shade. I mean, those are very hard plants to keep alive even in a greenhouse in Florida. The fact that they're growing out there is amazing. Chordata is probably the most sought after of maybe Licuala mapu, which, by the way, Licuala mapu is not the species name. It's Licuala matinensis variation mapu. No one ever grows the matinensis because it doesn't have any variegation or modeling to it. It's actually, I should do a video on modeling versus variegation. It's really not that big of a difference, but yeah, you only see cordatas growing in the ground in like real tropical rainforest climates. They're just they can't handle the dry, cooler winds that we see. I bet they bring them inside in the wintertime when they know it's going to get chilly, and cold dry winds is like the worst enemy of. All right, so let's do a little run through of Venice Hyundai. I just want to see what they have. I don't know why they're Hyundais, but you never know what you're going to find at any given dealership. I know it's not that interesting. But last time we found those Hyundai Ioniq 5s, which are pretty cool. I'm probably not going to get out this time. There's probably still people here, but they know that people drive through to. And I'll give you guys an example of like what my opinion is the problem with the real estate market. So those are going to be used cars. There's no Moroni sticker on the. Oh, that's a new launcher. Not interesting. Okay. Yeah, look. I mean, there's some the ones where Cordata and stuff, but it doesn't look like they have any new cars in stock at all. Oh, they have that besides that Elantra. They probably have 3 or 4 new cars in stock. These are all most of these are not even Hyundais. It's just that we've gotten used to like just not seeing cars in stock. So that's not interesting. They've got a charging station here. Is that a Kona EV? No, let's just see if it is. I'm gonna go check that out real quick. I hope they don't approach me about anything because And they're closed anyways. They're not. Should have noticed on the front grille it wasn't an EV because EVs don't have like a grill that can take in air. But yeah, Texas can, depending on where you are, and the problem is you don't have any shielding from the Gulf because you're on the other side of where you want it, the cold air to run through. But yeah, I mean, I've had friends, in San Antonio, Houston, Dallas, had palms for 30 years die in that cold last year. See what they have inside there. The funny thing is, I was at the Toyota dealership getting that oil change in this thing. Bob Glazer. Yeah, Clipter Calyx, again, a beautiful genus. Now, the bigger ones can do all right here in like South Florida, but like the small, nice looking ones, very difficult on the ground, like Clipter Calyx species cane loss. Let's check one other car here. Sorry, guys, it's just my inner car nerd just looking for EVs. But Cliptrocalyx albertsianus, spicatus, polyphilus, elegans should usually do okay in zone 10 climates. All right, I'm not finding what I'm looking for here. I'll make one more little round here. Sorry, this is longer than I wanted to spend in this area. There's literally nothing interesting here. I'm just looking for that one EV. Anyways, I took my, and then these palmettos that were planted here already dying, crown collapse. And you saw that. You can tell how new this place is. A lot of these places are chopped up. A lot of the palmettos are still chopped up from hurricane cut. So, yeah, dwarf beetle nuts, they've kind of been a thing for 6 or 7. I mean, they've always been popular in Miami. And then the bug caught on to everybody that, like, oh, we can grow this in a pot full time, 100% of the time, which is true. You got to change out the soil once in a while. But they are definitely great growers in a pot. And, okay, no EVs. They sold all the Ioniq 5s. Those are some new. Is that an Elantra? And they probably would have put it out front if it were. Yeah, it's just an Elantra. They've got like 4 new cars. I got 2. So 7B Delaware, you're going to want to add to your collection there with some needles, some Rapidophyllum hystrix. They'll do fine in your climate. 7B, is very restrictive. It depends. Do you want to protect some stuff? Do you want to... There's some low-growing palms that you could protect pretty easily. Some of the Camadurias, they take a lot of cool weather. I hit this guy. It's hard to see him because... Again, riding with I have a bike, I have one of those electric bikes, I would never ride it without like a headlight and a flashing rear light in Florida because people just don't care at all. Not to mention, like, cops will actually pull you over for that. Yeah, dwarf catechoos, I'll tell you a funny story about dwarf cat. Oh, sorry, I'll tell you a story about the Toyota dealership. I got caught up on that. Went to Toyota the dealership, got my oil changes, wandering around. They have one car in the showroom. It's an Audi A7 Quattro, the luxury edition. It probably was a trade-in because they don't have anything else to show off. They have like 2 Corollas, 2 Tacomas, and I don't know, maybe a RAV4 non-hybrid. Okay, so anyways, the catechoos. Yeah, finding them locally is the hard thing, and they don't ship very well. I mean, people who do it right can do it, but I wouldn't recommend buying one through the mail, because if they can ship it properly, then yes. Like have them ship it in the pot, make sure it's properly braced. So what was I going to talk about? Oh, the catechoos. So I had bought some dwarf catechu seed from Thailand. This would have been 2009 7, and I grew them up, and they were a lot of them are looking true. I kind of like separated the ones that had petioles, and the ones that looked like true dwarfs, I had contracted the sale of them for $15, which at the time was like, a reasonable price for them, as these are in 4-inch pots. They're ready to go into 1 gallons. They actually grow relatively fast, even though they don't grow relatively tall. And so I'm not going to say who the guy was, but the guy bought them at the day before the sale, which I could have sold them for, and didn't put them in a different pot, took his tag and put an $85 price tag on them. He probably sold 4 out of 10. And that guy's not really known for growing his own plants. He's known for finding good sales in Cambodia, Radicalis, and Myrtle Beach. That is a good question. It's worth trying. If you're right there by the beach, I'd say yes. If you're out like in what's the name of that town that's sitting in Horry County, that's near where eastern coastal Carolina is? Conway, that's it. Yeah, Unga Bunga. I wouldn't try like in Conway, like in the ground, no protection. I would probably try along the beach there. I mean, see how it works out. Okay, so you're in Socastee. That is just south of Myrtle Beach, right? Or is it Socastee? Yeah, okay. I would try it there. It's right there on the water. And I haven't been there in a while, but my friend's family is vacationing there. Oh, is that? I was trying to get into a gated neighborhood, but it looks like that it's so new that they haven't gated it yet. I'm going to try another one. But this area, like Jacaranda, used to never go beyond Border Road, which is the last, that 4-way stop. It used to stop here. And they built these communities. And that was it. So Bismarckia nobilis, the silver form, I might get a little flack for saying this, but it's definitely a 9A palm. The green form is definitely a minimum 10A. That's how crazy the difference is. It's definitely, a 9B, if not better than that. I've seen them growing in Gainesville. I've seen them growing in Jacksonville. All right, I'm going to try and get in this community, which I don't know if it's a different one. What is this one called? Cielo, which means sky in Latin. Now, are there any gates here? See, this is so new, there's no gate. Oh, here we go. The gate is not, there is no gate here. So, there's going to be a gate. There isn't one right now. Just make sure I haven't got it. Okay. King palm and hurricane palm. Yeah. So you can see these are still being built. So king palms and hurricane palms are different in a few ways. One is they're about the same cold hardiness. They're both crown shafted. They both can tolerate shade and full sun, although Cunninghamiana likes more shade. Let me get to that question in a second. So you have these smaller villa style houses where like the garage is like the front, and like the if you look here, like straight on this one that still looks like it's being built, like the garage is the centerpiece of the house, and they have these 2-story ones that look a little more traditional. Now, I haven't gone down this way before, but the new way to build houses, I don't think it's just Florida. I think it's like most of like the South. You get these houses that, I'll give you an example here. This one's perfect. Where you have the house, and like all you see in the front is a garage. You got to go around to the side. This one has somewhat of a, there's no presence. It's just all cars. And these are probably like 700, 720. I couldn't tell you. TL would be able to know a little bit more about that. I'm just seeing how, this is the best place to run over nails too. I'm trying not to. Oh, that's not the way I want this thing to be. And I don't even know how far this road goes. So the difference is that king palms love a ton of water. Hurricanes can go a lot without. Like king palms can stand in water. Hurricanes are going to want to get water running along their roots like a bottle. Like all the palms of like Reunion and Mascarene Islands, they're in the Indian Ocean, have the same kind of climatic requirements where they can take a ton of wind, good drainage, ton of sun, and they're just much more durable. Kings are still durable plants, but if they dry out, they just look like crap. If a hurricane dries out, it just kind of slows down. It's just a much more, but I don't believe they're as cold hardy as some of the kings, and they don't look very good underneath canopy. All right, so it's 74 out here. The AC on 74. Dioun Edgley, I believe, would also have a chance, especially because it can die back to the trunk and then regrow if you're okay with that. Like you're almost better off just trimming it in like say November, December, and then like letting it flush out, because trimming can induce a flush too. I would say definitely, yeah, you got the full sun, Dioun Edgley, maybe Ceratizamia hilde or Ceratizamia equestriana. Super cold hardy, and you can plant them in canopy or protected areas. Yeah, the thing about a lot of areas of Southern California is that they may have a great climate for, like Palm Springs is actually a better climate for Bismarck than say LA, than say like coastal LA, because there's a lot more heat. Bismarcks love that heat. They grow in the hot north central area of Madagascar. And Deliceto Drive, is that what it's called? That's not a name for a street. I mean, this is ridiculous. So oh yeah, I think Busy's, because that's a good example. Like Palm Springs is definitely a 9B in my opinion, because it can dip down to the 20s. It's a different type of 9B than say a Florida 9B. You don't get this like heavy frost. You get this like dip down and jump back up, which is why it's I think that like there's like the Salton Sea coconut, which is doing okay because coconuts can take that quick dip into the 20s and jump back. And palmetto, like all sables are gonna love it. And I always tell people like the two species of plants that people should grow more in California are one, sables, especially like, I hate to say it, but not like the faster growing ones like Domengensis and Causiarum, which are really the same species anyway. And zinnias, because zinnias are cold hardy. They love the sun. They can take the drought. I mean, the non-tropical zinnias, which are going to be like the Caribbean ones, which sounds like counter to like what you think of like the Caribbean, but there's a lot of dry areas of the Caribbean that are like Florida, just a little bit warmer. So I'm just going on what I know of like the records of what in Palm Springs. I know that it can be very mild there. I know it gets really hot, so like you can't. I've heard of bananas frying there, which is unfortunate. The Aria, the only Aria that, in my opinion, is the one in Las Vegas. I don't know why they try and. Yeah, so if you have those days that bounce back, you can start growing stuff that can handle the cold, but then need warmth to grow. Where, I just looked at an LA forecast like one winter a long time ago, and like the highest it was going to get in 2 weeks was like 57 degrees. If that would be catastrophic here. And it was, because it really only got to like the low 60s for 2 weeks in Florida in 2011. Oh yeah, now they definitely will grow. They're just a real, like a dry heat wave. I mean, which is like a really hot, I'm talking like, nearing 120. That's when bananas will start to fry out if you don't cover them with like water. Water will counteract that. So this used to be the end of the line. There's this new neighborhood here. I'm gonna roll on that. I wonder if I can get in there. on a sec here. I'm just gonna make a U-turn where we're not supposed to. And hope that no one cares. Oh, that's not what I want to do. Yeah, 121 degrees is where a lot of palms will just say no thanks and die. You know, you're approaching 50 Celsius there. So this used to be like horse farms. This road was one lane, ended here. Jacaranda did. Now, Border Road was always here, but it was just this 2-lane road, no median like there is right here. And then there's a neighborhood coming up to the left that's no one lives in here yet. But let's see if we can get in. I haven't been in here before. A year ago, this was just trees. New homes. Let's see what kind of new homes there are. Oh, they do have some stuff. So they have, the gate is open, that's the way I like it. There might be some people that actually live here. Oh no, it's way too new for that. Ibiza Lane, interesting. Now they're just trying to like make cool names for stuff. Oh, and you can't even, yeah, there's like, this isn't working out. And I got the street sweeper. What is he doing? Why even bother street sweeping this construction site? I think that it depends on where you are in California. If you're in a milder climate, like really mild climates like coastal San Diego, not going to be good for like Royals and foxtails. I mean, they'll grow there. They just won't grow very fast. If you go to like, say, Vista, where it's a little bit warmer during the day, like I like to use the 3 cities, Encinitas, Vista, and Escondido. So Encinitas, like you're going to see a lot like Howie's do great. You know, Bismarcks and foxtails, they want a lot of like, you know, they grow in high heat areas. They get a lot of their water from the ground. You get a lot of fogginess in Encinitas, oceanside area. But Vista's kind of in the middle, and Escondido's more of a desert. Now foxtails and Royals will grow in. I mean, there's beautiful Royals in Phoenix. They'll handle the high heat. I think those actually grow better in hotter, drier climates than they do in cool, milder climates. You'll do better with like Arcontra Phoenix in the coast. Jubea chilensis and Myrtle Beach. It's just too humid on the east. Like it's too humid east of the Mississippi to grow true Jubeas. Unfortunately. I don't know anyone that has one of any size. There used to be one in Orlando, but it died, which is great. I mean, I guess it was like 40 years old when it died. I don't know. I know that person that talked about that is the guy who runs the collection at Lou Gardens, which is Eric Schmidt, the greatest guys in the palm world. Very funny, very, very knowledgeable. Yeah, they are 8B hardy. The problem is they're not hardy to. There was a guy that transplanted some from California to San Angelo, Texas, and theoretically they should have survived there dry, but they just didn't like the high heat, and Jubeas don't grow in a high heat situation. You're probably better with like trying pear Jubea or Butea cross with pear Jubea. You're going to be better with the hybrids, which are still very nice. Butea to cross with pear Jubea is an awesome plant. Okay, so we're going to visit one more neighborhood, then I've got to go to Publix. Been running for a while here. So this, again, was just a crossroads. There was just a racetrack here. There was McDonald's and the Speedway. The Speedway was like a head station. That was it. That's all you saw here. Now you have the Wawa. You have Culver's Tractor Supply, a car wash, and a community. Shalom Aleichem. My favorite Jew is with us. Yeah, you can try out Parajubea. You know, I've never grown Parajubea. I don't know anyone that's even had one here. They're even harder because they grow at high elevation. Because Jubaeas don't necessarily grow high elevation. They just grow in a very, you know, low humidity climate. Yeah, sorry. My Hebrew's off. And this hotel is brand new and it's packed. This hotel, they like facelifted it. It used to be kind of I don't say it's run down. It just didn't look as nice as it used to be. But I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get in this place, but I might be able to. I'm gonna try and use a code that two codes I know. So this is 75 here to my left. Most people don't even know this place exists unless you live here. You can see obviously it's new. They still have the staking on the palmettos. Upside is great reception right next to the interstate. So this luxury. They call it. There's this new trend of luxury apartment complexes. I first saw this in Cape Coral around 2016, and gates are not open. And this is just ridiculous. So like if you go on the site, it's called like Venice Isles Luxury Apartments, I think is the name of it. Okay. Let's see what happens. No, I don't want to dial someone I don't know. That was an accident. Okay. I'm looking for someone that'll let me in. You can come in. This is, I mean, yeah, you're probably dealing with a guy in Adderall, Zach. I mean, it could be that. Ritalin or Adderall. Yeah, I think that, I don't know. Honestly, I think that, yeah, in Myrtle Beach. Yes, I'm thinking of Palm Springs. Oh, here we go. There's multiple cars coming out of here. This is how you get in. Let's see. Yeah, Daddy. See, you just wait till a car comes and exits and you just come in. I mean, the gated community is so ridiculous. So these apartments, I think the one bedrooms are like $1,800. 2 bedrooms are $2,300 and 3 bedrooms are like $3,200. Yeah, definitely cocaine of the 80s. There's a lot of new drugs out there that will make that happen. So, but the elevators sometimes don't work in this place, and it's just a concrete jungle with a view of the interstate. So these people, this is what I would call a bedroom community. It's right off of 190 exit Jack Randall Boulevard. You basically just work probably in Sarasota. Some people probably commute here from Tampa, which is 70 miles. I mean, he could have snorted Adderall. But, you know, I've never been inside these places. I know they have a nice inside, but like everything's white and all the stairs are already just like stained. They're just made of concrete. They're not like, there's nothing luxurious about these apartments other than the fact that they have nice interiors. I wouldn't say they're well made. They just have nice finishes. They're just little compartments for people to. It's a lot of. Oh, is that what I got? A brand new Venza with like really bad damage on the driver's side. Yeah, it is. Wow, that sucks. Someone got T-bone in that Venza. That sucks. Yeah, and I think they have a similar look to them. I would always go with Becario Phoenix. You're going to deal with a lot. All you got to deal with is the cold. You're going to deal with humidity issues with the others. Farming Simulator 22, man. Sounds like fun. My sister's ex used to play that. Yeah, you can try Parajubea Tortor. We used to call them Tortors because there's an old Honda Goldwing trike. Yeah, I would definitely try Becario Phoenix. It is a good. I mean, it grows in almost every climate. I remember when it first came out. So, Becario Phoenix Alfredii has been out. First, kind of showed up on the scene around 05, 06. There's a guy who used to do a lot of trips in Madagascar, and he kind of found this plant through. We just call him Alfred because I can't pronounce his last name. It's Malagasy. It's like Raffinizara. And it was called Becario Phoenix species new. Then it was called Becario Phoenix species Highland. I remember buying 10 seeds of it in like 06 and growing it, and I was like, okay, well, I mean, everybody loves the window pane in Becario Phoenix, what is now the true Becario Phoenix, I'm sorry, it's Becario Phoenix fenestralis, because the true Becario Phoenix madagascariensis is the non-window version. That palmetto's dead. There's probably 3 or 4 dead ones. There's a dead one. I mean, some of them are just going to die. And yeah, that could have happened. I mean, it got really cold. I mean, it got down to 12 in Houston, and you never know how big the Becario Phoenix was. I mean, 12 is not the ballpark at which Becario Phoenix is going to thrive. I would say anything above 20, it'll survive pretty easily, as long as we take care of it. My average MPG has gone up like from 45 to 47.6, which is nice. I mean, Unga Bunga, I actually have no idea. The only difference I know is that this microcarpa just means small seed. It's a smaller seed than Tortor. I think that there's also an elevation difference. I couldn't tell you the difference if I looked at them. All I know is Tortor, Parajubea toralii, variation toralii, that's what I call it, Tortor, is a more popular plant. I have no experience growing them. And when you don't see them in like person, then you really you become unfamiliar with the plant. That's why I'm like not very good at like IDing trachees. I'm not good at IDing like some super tropical stuff like heterospath and clinostigma. Besides Clinostigma savorianum, which grows great here. It's a very underrated palm. Yeah, there's a guy. I wouldn't recommend like expecting good results from that, but he's trying it out. Mickey D's 39 and 5. So I'm gonna go into Publix. I'm out here. I need to find something to eat for dinner. I forgot about that part. Yeah, I think that you have a decent chance of having a queen survive as long as you take care of it for quite some time. I don't know, when it gets big, it's going to be a difficult thing to do. So, all right, Big G, I'm going to actually get off the stream here because I've got to make a few phone calls. So I might. Yeah, no, I know he is. He's been doing a great job. I might get back on for my trip home. I don't know, but I have to say goodbye for now because it's just too difficult for me to stay on the stream and make the phone calls. I mean, it'll cut out multiple times. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you was finding it enjoyable, and I will see you guys in the near future. See you, Jeremy. These foxtails haven't looked nice in a while. And the shamrocks in the pots, I mean, they look terrible. They're like dry. No one ever waters them. All right, so I will see you guys in the near future. I'll try and post a video soon. Till then, thanks for watching.